Hey guys, Mellow Modesty here for a very, very late weekly pull list. This came out over a week ago, but I have like 9 books here, so I feel like I have to talk about them because there's a lot. We will start off with the worst. Nightwing number 15. There's like 3 good Death of a Family crossovers going on. This is not one of them. Not as bad as Suicide Squad, but this is pretty bad. Gonna have to sort of go fast through these because there's 9. Next, or like 7 or 9, I don't really know. Next up is Red Hood and the Outlaws. This is a little better than Nightwing because there's some cool action in it, but when it comes to storyline and character development, these both suck. Next up is a huge disappointment this year, being Happy issue 3. I'm a huge Grant Morrison fan, and this series is below par to say the least. This has a sort of background, like a backstory to Nick, and I don't really give a shit. I still think he's a pretty despicable human being. I think everyone in this book is a despicable human being. I don't like Happy, to be honest. The first issue was cool, and then the rest of them sucked. Next up is Comeback. This is a series that I really like, but I don't know if I fully understand. The artwork is great in the first 2 issues. This is the second issue, by the way. And in this one, it has some very strange things with time travel and someone going back in time to talk to their former self. And it's just really interesting. It is, if you liked the movie Looper, which came out, this is definitely a good series. Although I don't really fully understand this, and I would probably recommend picking this up in trade. This seems more like a trade series. I'm still really intrigued to see what happens next, and I can't wait for the next issue. Hopefully I'm not completely mind-fucked then. It's a good series, though. I like it. Next up is the Indestructible Hulk numero dos. I loved the first issue. I ranted and raved about it, how good it was. And the second issue is not quite as good. He meets Iron Man, and it's really interesting because they have a physical fight, but it's more like they're trying to show each other up throughout the whole issue, and there's some stuff about how Mariah thinks that Bruce Banner basically wants to be Tony Stark, and there's just some really interesting stuff. You got some cool Hulk action over here, and there's this part where Bruce Banner totally shows up Tony Stark, and then Tony Stark goes to the bathroom and he's like, I'm rich, man, I'm famous, I'll be fine. But you get this awesome transformation. It's a cool book. It is. I'm definitely liking the series so far. The artist, Lanil Yu, is really good at showing action, and it's just a great series so far. I would definitely recommend picking up Indestructible Hulk if you have not yet. Not as great as the first issue, but I could definitely recommend this. Good stuff. Then next up is FF issue 2 by Fraction and drawn by Allred. Artwork is once again beautiful. I don't think I need to repeat that anymore because artwork is always beautiful in this book, and just does a really great job drawing characters, and I just really like his pop art style. This explains how Johnny's girlfriend is going to help the team. There's a big cliffhanger at the end, which definitely leaves me wanting for more. They fight, I believe his name is the Mole Man, and there's a very humorous scene where after they beat him and then they beat up the mole part, it says Nyarg, and then down here it says this was supposed to be my day off in Giganches, or whatever his language is. But I really love this picture of Medusa. I think Medusa is possibly the coolest and best drawn character in this book. It's a really good job at showing her emotions even though half her face is covered, and it's cool. The ending is definitely leaving me wanting for more. yeah, I'm not going to say what the ending is. I'm going to leave this one spoiler-free. Check it out. It's a good series. Next up, Multiple Warheads number 3. The story in this one is a little bit more comprehensible than the second issue, but really this series is still just so that Graham can show his artwork, which is beautiful, as always. You get, of course, some naked scenes of Sexico, which he loves drawing, and I have no problem with him drawing them. And you get some really cool cartooning. He shows a bunch of different species in this. This is probably the best issue yet of Multiple Warheads, and I really like this series, so definitely check it out if you haven't. However, don't expect to fall in love with the story, expect to fall in love with the art. Then, the second best of the week, which second and first are basically tied. I like the first one a little bit more, but number 2 would be Avengers number 2. Avengers is definitely the best Marvel Now title. I actually wasn't going to get it, but since Hickman is writing it, I figured what the heck, the artwork is great. This shows all the different characters that are going to be in it. I love the bad guys of being these gods, and although a lot of people say Hickman has a impersonal way of writing, he does, but it's also a very beautiful way of writing, and I just think that the best way to describe this is just epic. You have how Captain America is recruiting all of the newer Avenger people, and X-Nil and I believe her name is Omega or Apocalypse or something are now taking over. They're attacking the Earth while everyone is still captured. And yeah, just a great issue. I'm really liking this series. And if you're not picking up the Avengers because you're like, I don't want to, they're too big, I don't really feel like it, you really should at least pick up the mainline Avengers series, because it's awesome. It's really good. Artwork and storyline are great. Then next up, the best issue that I've read in a very long time, Saga, issue 8. This is a really, really good issue. It is definitely the best issue of Saga. It has a lot of stuff going on with the parents. It shows how Alana and Marco first met with a rifle butt in his mouth, and yeah, it is just a great series. You also finally figure out who Gwendolyn is. Not the biggest cliffhanger at the end of this one, but still, it is a great issue. Definitely the most character developing issue, I guess you would say. I'm really liking Marco's dad. A lot of crazy stuff happens. It's sort of a sad issue, but it is just really, really cool. If you guys aren't picking up Saga, I don't really know what to say, because this series is absolutely awesome. Really great series, and then at the end, and I mean, you still have the letters column, but you get a great little breakdown of how Fiona Apple does her artwork on the computer, and that is really cool as well. I also really love the cover for this issue. It's really cool. Anyways, so that is my huge weekly pull list this week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys are picking up and what you enjoy, and I will talk to you later.